What is up, guys? My name is Dre and welcome to another Honkai tutorial video. So in today's video we are looking at a tier list, but of course before we hop into today's topic, I just want to point you guys again to my YouTube short section, which is currently mainly the content that I'm putting out. I try to put out one video like every day or every 2 days at least, so as long as the ideas are spreading, I just want to push them out. So I would highly appreciate you guys if you would subscribe to the channel, of course, if you enjoy the content. And yeah, let's get back into the video. So yeah, it would help me out a lot. And yeah, we're talking about tier lists. So I really do believe that there are a lot of very good tier lists there outside already, which I didn't decide to do a own tier list to myself. But after 4 weeks into the game, I think now I have a really good plan about every character in the game, or every character that is currently in the game. I tested a lot of those characters on different accounts because I do not own most of them on my own account. I did watch a lot of different characters, and I think now I have a very good opinion on most of them already. Yeah, I talked about this site already in one of my past videos. It is fightrand.gg. So this is a very good site if you're looking for some guides, character builds, team builds. I think they're very helpful. I will put the link in the description down below. Now let's move into the tier list. Let's talk about the different categories first that they have. So they probably divided all the characters into 3 categories, which I do think is a really good idea. I also do really like this. We have damage dealers. These are basically every hunt and destruction characters. We have offensive supports and debuffers. These are all nihility and harmony characters. And defensive supports. These are all abundance and preservation characters. So basically, healer tanks belong to these characters. Buffers, debuffers belong to these categories. And damage dealers, DPS characters, bursters belong to this category. Yeah, now that we get this out of the way, let's move into the S plus section, which is the highest tier. So let's start off with, I think we'll do it row by row. We do every tier and every category, and then we move on to the next row. Let's start off with Sealy. So just Sealy. And yeah, I told this to my friends starting from day one after I saw all the characters already, that I do believe that Sealy is the most broken character in the game. And compared to her, all other characters are basically balanced, which is my personal opinion. Uh, so I really do think that Sealy does belong to her own tier, which is probably the case. As you can see here, they have 2 different kind of tiers. They have single target and they have multi-target tiers. And then the general tier is probably the average of both of them. And yeah, I really do think Sealy is the most broken character till this day. The reason why, I think she is like the fastest character in the game. Also, after she kills an enemy, she gets another hit, and that doesn't count as a turn. It also doesn't count as advance forward. It is just an additional attack in the same turn. So probably she does single target AoE. Basically, it is the same like AoE, but she does it with her single target scalings. It doesn't make any sense. I think this is like so broken. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's move on to the next character. Bronya. Bronya definitely is one of the best supporters in the game, by no doubt. I think moving forward into the end game, I really think that she will be the best supporter in the game. Currently, her only, I'd say, enemy, quote unquote, is Tingyun. I already put out a video and discussion on that. You can check it out if you want to, because I just shortly, I currently do believe that Tingyun is a little bit better because I value this utility a little more of her. But moving into the later stages of the game, definitely Bronya will outscale Tingyun. That is no question. So that's why it is fine for me that Bronya is a little bit higher on the tier list. For Bailu and Japart, I think for Bailu it is clearly she is the only 5-star healer in the game, and also she is the second healer in the game, which automatically makes her the best healer in the game. Same goes for Japort. I think the only other really good preservation character is the Trailblazer, the Fire Trailblazer. But I also do believe that Japort is a little better than the Trailblazer, just because of the fact that he is ice. I think that alone makes him the better character, because ice is currently the most relevant element moving into the end game. Yeah, but besides that, also his kit is very, very good. But I think it is kind of close, since the taunt of the Trailblazer is a very, very strong skill. Yeah, let's take a look at the next row, which is Clara, Jingyon, and Yang Qing. So Yang Qing is honestly the character that I use the least with, because nobody of my friends has him, but I just saw him in a lot of different videos. I also used him from my friend list. So talking about friends, I of course mean my IRL friends, not my friend list in the game. In my friend list in the game, I was able to use him a couple of times. I think that his damage output is really good, but you really have to be careful that he doesn't get hit. So he is like favored to be here because he can deal quite a lot of damage, but again, because he's from the ice element, and I do think that it is currently, or in the current rotation, this is like the most relevant element that we have in the game. Jingyon, I really thought that he is nearly as good as Sealy, but now after 1 week and after 4 weeks of Sealy, I think there is a clear gap. He is extremely good in AoE. Don't get me wrong, but I think he mainly gets carried by his passive, the Lightning Lord, while Sealy is like not only carried by her passive, she's also like really fast. She does a lot of damage. She has like everything that her category hunt character needs. While yeah, I really feel like that Jingyon is only that good because of his passive. I mean, besides of his passive, he still does quite a good amount of damage. Don't get me wrong, he's still very good, but I don't feel like the brokenness that I feel when I'm using Sealy compared to Jingyon. Clara is insanely good. I think she outdamages every other character, of course, besides Sealy, as long as you can stack up her passive. So don't really much to say. Only thing is that your team comp is preserved if you use her, because you kind of have to use March 7 because she needs to get attack to have the stacks. Tingyon, I already talked about her. Currently, I think as long as you're not Trailblaze level 50 or both, probably Trailblaze level 60, I would move Tingyon in the S plus tier, because I think her value is really good. Especially her energy regain from her ultimate skill. I do really like this. But I'm totally fine with it that she is in the S tier. Let's talk about Welt. Welt is the only imaginary character from the Nihility path. I think that for his own is really good. A lot of people do underrate him, but I think that the S tier is the right tier for him, honestly. But I don't know if he gets power crept by other imaginary characters, but at least for now, we only do know that Luocha is coming. He's from the Abundance path. Yukong will also not be in the Nihility path. So I think World won't be power crept very soon, though. Those two characters I also don't want to talk that much. Natasha is the only secondary healer. Everyone has her, but she is the only option that you have for healing. Healing is a really important part of the game. If you don't have a healer, you probably need two preservation characters in your team. So defensive characters are very relevant in this game. So that's why Natasha has to be here. I think that she will get power crept very easily. But as long as there is no abundance character that is coming, Natasha will be at least A tier, in my opinion. Trailblazer, insanely free-to-play character. Taunt, really good. Shield, really good. Damage for a tank is also decent. I use this character since I got her, or him, because I have male Trailblazer. But yeah, the character never disappoints. Okay, next row, these characters. So, I think that I don't know why Serval is here. Honestly, though, I would swap Serval with Himiko because I don't really see Himiko being worse than Serval. Even though I honestly like Serval a little more, I think. But yeah, I honestly think that Himiko belongs into the A tier because yeah, Danheng, Hook, and Susheng, these are like the best DPS characters for 4 stars. Um, which is the reason why they are here. They are doing quite some very good they are doing some very good damage. It is not comparable to these three when they're all on their peak, but it is really good enough. I'm using Sushing, I'm using Hook. They're doing very good damage. But yeah, I also sometimes use these three from my friends, and they're not that. You cannot compare them to them. They're doing a little bit more. Even though I do think that it is possible for those three to outdamage at least this row, if you build them correctly. I think it is possible to outdamage those, but it never will be possible to outdamage Silly. Yeah. So the only thing that I would do is moving Serval down here and Himiko up here. Asta, Pela. Pela was the character that I really tried to pull for. I think they're all also really good characters. The only problem on those characters is that we have better ones. We have Rania and we have Tinian. Also, Tinian is currently featured in Jingyuan's banner. And I really do believe that they are the better characters because this character has a damage buff and a utility buff, while this character has also a super, super good damage buff with the ability to cleanse, with the ability to advance forward the action. I think this is better than Asta that can buff speed, but she's really good in breaking shields. So especially if you didn't do Simulated Universe or if you didn't do the first 15 floors of Forgotten Hall, Asta was really, really helpful for that because breaking shields, you shouldn't underestimate that. And the speed buff is also decently good. Of course, as I said, it is not as good as these two, but we have to consider that Asta is a free-to-play character. Actually, I would move Pella. I don't know. I wouldn't move Pella into the same tier as Tingian, but I do believe that Pella is slightly better than Asta at least because she's the only character that can do so, and I do think that she can cleanse. Right? I think was she able to cleanse? No, she wasn't. I think she wasn't able to cleanse. I think only Natasha is able to cleanse, right? Defense. Oh yeah, no. She can remove a buff from the enemy. That was her ability. She wasn't able to cleanse. Yeah, March, also only 4-star preservation character that currently can do something. That's why she's up here. So she's ice. I think March could move even down. She's not that bad of a character, but just looking at the kit, I do really know, or I can really see that she will be power crept soon. As soon as there is a new 4-star preservation character, but her ability to give a shield and give the shielded character a higher chance to be taunted is really good parable with Clara. Yeah, now for the losers, B tier and down, because up from here nobody is listening anymore. That's why I won't talk about any of these characters here. I just feel like that Arlen is a little underrated. He could maybe move into the B tier. Sampo is also a little underrated. I would move him like into the top of B tier, maybe onto the lower bottom of the A tier because Serval is here. Actually, I would move Serval down and Sampo into the top of the B tier. Himiko up. Shinkoi can stay here. Arlen, I don't know. Arlen maybe can be onto the bottom of the B tier, but yeah, I think you do not really want to discuss about the bottom tier characters. Honestly, though, nobody's using Trailblazer Physical. Nobody's using these characters though. They are not horrible, but the problem is that the other characters are like way better. And yeah, on the free-to-play characters, we have like Serval, which is decently good. Acer, who is really good. We have March 7, who is currently still good into the game. We have Natasha, who is necessary actually. We have the Fire Trailblazer, who is also insanely good. So yeah, these are like the leftovers. Yeah, I think that's it. What I have to say for the tier list. Thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe to the channel, of course, to see more Honkai Star Rail content, especially YouTube Shorts. And I see you guys next time. Bye.